And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. Got a special one tonight. We got the Golf Highway. We're taking a cruise down the Golf Highway with Drake. DZ is in the house. We would like to welcome all of our viewers across this beautiful country of ours. We got a special one tonight. Drums, get ready for this. The biggest intro of your life, biggest what is up of your life. We'll see you in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, but this time we got a special guest this week. Joining us from the Gulf Highway count, Drake Zimmerman, and our boy,
Thank
Jordan.
you.
But we're going to send it over to Drake, see what's going on. How's it going, Drake? Welcome, your first podcast, your first time on. You nervous?
Yeah, I kind of am a little nervous. I'm going to be honest. Blushing already, so nothing new.
Look good.
Thanks.
What's going on, man? You just enjoying the weather?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're getting pretty blessed here with these nice days in December, so can't beat it. Pretty tough to beat. Went down to the Wheat City yesterday and was able to get a little backstage pass. Got to go out there, film some footage, get some footage of the great stuff they got available in the pro shop, and got to swing the sticks a little bit. So yeah. Also got to talk with Dave and got a big giveaway coming this Friday. So stay tuned. I'll be making a post on Friday, and there'll be something to win. So better buckle in.
Stay tuned. Everybody stay tuned. Perfect. Well, thanks for stepping into Reggie's shoes for the evening. Reggie had it's the time of year, so Reggie had a Christmas party he had to attend, apparently. So we'll let him have this pass because we knew we had Drake on the back burners here. So thank you very much for joining us, Drake. We'll make sure this one is the best ever and see if we can't get rid of Reggie yet. Jor, what's happening out in Rossman, brother?
Top of the evening to you, ladies and gents. Lots going on in Rossman. The lake finally froze. The boys and the girls are coming out to the lake this weekend for our Christmas, our annual Friends Christmas, and hopefully we can get a skate in. Was pretty jealous to see Drake's Snapchats yesterday and today. He is hitting balls at Wheat City in December, which has to be a new record. Oh, he wasn't hitting balls. He was just taking pictures in the parking lot. And also, he was at Shanks today.
Hey.
Hopefully that's not another as well. But I saw some behind the scenes. Pardon me?
I was just saying big moves. Lots of progress there.
Big moves. It looked like it. Got a nice little sneak peek. Maybe Drake will touch on that in a wee bit. But it's good to see. And other than that, December is always a shit show. It seems with Christmas, everybody getting fired up for the holidays, everybody scrambling to get gifts under the tree. We got some gifts last week though as well. Wanted to show this little guy off. If you've been following King Golf at all, we had our first ever special edition hoodie, the Tiger Woods edition, and they are sharp. So shout out to everybody who ordered one. We sold 44 of them, and that's it, unfortunately. But we're gonna have another round in right before the Masters. Got something special. I love this gray. It's so comfortable, and we got a couple cool things up the sleeve. So yes, Roscoe is in the house. Stinky Steve is in the house. The best name on YouTube. So Drums, you tell us what's going on in Brandon.
Hey, we're back. Honestly, not what's that?
New location.
New location. I had to move her to the couch here so I could rest my back. She, I think I said it last week. It was in a lot of pain for kind of no reason, just getting old. And I thought it was getting better, and then woke up Monday and it was kind of back at it. So today I couldn't even get out of bed. I had to get some painkillers, get to the Cairo. So it's been a day of hot and cold contrast, trying to heal this thing so I can get ready and get this skate under my feet on the weekend. We'll see. I guess might be
We'll see.
more of a float. I'm thinking we
Glide,
should
if you will.
pack
Put
the
you on
golf
a-
clubs. Might be more what we're in line with the weather here. But no, other than that, just really looking forward to this weekend. Like you said, our annual Friends Miss. See everybody and have a few cocktails. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Well, we'll get you one of those saucers drums. I'll just pull you around the lake.
Pull me around. Perfect.
Well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. We are both getting old. My shoulder is sore for absolutely no reason today. But, if Tiger Woods can do it, I think we can get through this, drums. We don't have hours and hours of rehab after the Kngdom, so we should be all right.
We also don't have like the money
True.
that he's got to put towards healing.
We don't have
Or
money,
the-
period. There's no the money there.
very
We
true.
don't have money,
Very true.
period. Okay. We got a lot to cover tonight, so let's keep things moving along here. We have, as we usually do, we start the show with a cheers. I got a Coors Seltzer tonight and a Guinness on the back burner right now. But I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. It is a Guinness Nitro.
Check.
Heard of those? Look how dark
Nope.
it is. It's like
Yeah.
the coffee Guinness. It's a cold brew Guinness Nitro. So I might be up till 4 a.m. tonight after drinking that. But let's start with cheers. Drake, you mentioned the weather. Maybe start with our
absolutely.
first cheers, and then we'll get to our human cheers. Drums, me or you or Drake? We'll
What's
start
that,
with okay, I'll go ahead. We're doing a cheers to the weather. It is December. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. The snow is melting. You can see some grass on the course. Lots of grass at Wheat City course, but at Rossman Lake here, there's patches, which is all you can ask for in December. So any day of this kind of weather we have in the wintertime, we're always going to be happy for it because it sure shortens up the winter. So we'll do a quick cheers to the weather, to Mother Nature.
Cheers.
What are you drinking, Drake?
Cheers.
I'm going to throw an audible at you. Another
Mm.
one to include. Whoever, big, huge, massive cheers to whoever the brilliant mind behind changing the Canadian Open logo was.
Yeah.
Hats off to you, sir or madam. What a brilliant move. So those who had not seen it, the Canadian Open changed their logo. They had a player that was set up in there for the eye, but they changed that to a silhouette of our boy from last year with the huge putt, and just how cool that video was of it changing, and then to see all the memes coming out afterwards to include the tackle as well was absolutely chef's kiss. So logo looks awesome. So hats off to that person who ever made that change.
Cheers. So
Cheers.
they replaced the I with Nick T.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like replacing the I in King.
Is there
Well,
got
yeah,
some
so-
copyright there?
I wonder if they were inspired.
So that's the new. Can you see?
Yep.
That
Look like
the old
Reggie
just had
drums.
like kind of like an old normal person swinging, and then it was Nick tossing the putters, the new one. So it's perfect.
Was pretty slick. And what else we got? Drake, give a shout out to the man who sounds to be getting paid.
John Rahm?
Yes,
John
sir.
Rahm.
Yeah, big shout out to John Rahm. Got paid. He's got some, not that he was ever struggling with winning golf tournaments, but I mean, lighten the load a little bit and yeah, I mean, he can still play in the Masters every year. He's kind of got it made, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Has
Yeah,
that been
Rambo?
confirmed, or are we still speculating a little bit?
I believe it's 98% confirmed. I think the announcement's coming tomorrow.
I mean, the only place I've actually seen it posted is Drunk by the Turn or Drunk on the Turn, Drunk by the Turn,
Right.
that Instagram. So that's the only page that I actually seen it get posted on. Mind you, I didn't go digging for another article. So
Some
yeah.
confirmation.
Isn't
Yeah.
it absolutely hilarious that it's the the trusted news sources of the world is an account called Drunk by the Turn?
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
laughable.
perfect though. Like,
It
I mean,
speaks to where we are. Yeah.
exactly. Okay, well, let's give a shout out to Johnny Rahm.
Cheers. Big payday.
Big payday. Tough for the PGA, but as I'm sure we'll discuss tonight, they'll manage. Okay, so we went from 2 cheers there to 3 cheers. So this Guinness Nitro will definitely be getting drinking now, or drunk.
Drank.
No whiskey though tonight, Drummy.
That's
You're
good.
welcome.
Actually, didn't get off the rails last time, did we?
Nah, we usually do at the end, but
Yeah.
usually people aren't sticking around that long. Actually, that's a lie. It seems like people just jump on right at the end. They take an hour to get on,
Super
and
random.
as soon as we're getting a little bit tipsy, they hop on. Okay, so let's. Where should we start here, Drummy? Do you want to start with around the greens, or should we? Let's get to know Drake a little bit. Let's get to know Drake. So we got Drake.
Before we do, we got to do our AC segment
Right.
really quickly. So golf clap hat tip. Shout out to AC. T25 finished last week, so another good strong opening week to the season. It finishes out his South African swing this week at the Alfred Dunhill Championships. So he tees off at 12:30 p.m. Little change up for everybody next tomorrow, and then he's bright and early 7 a.m. so Reggie can watch all day at work on Friday. So he's off to cuts made, just kind of cruising along as we shouted him out previously. Just keep doing that. Just cuts made, points, and money. So keep it going, baby.
Yeah, it's good to see 2 for 2. Shout out to AC. We do another cheers, but we've already got 3 under the belt here. So
yeah, we can't keep getting buckled like that quick off the hop.
No, we got to keep things somewhat under control. So Drake, I have to admit, I made an error here early on as I got to know you a little bit. I said that you had just started golfing a couple years ago, and I gave a shout out. I think you shot your lowest round of the year at that point, and I was trying to be pretty slick on here, and I just made a complete debacle of it. So you didn't start golfing a couple years ago. That was just totally made up. But all
Okay, I've been running with that too.
Rewind a little bit though, because when Drake and I first met, it was probably was it March 2023? I'm pretty sure, hey?
And nothing at that tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. So Drake and I ended up in a dressing room. I think we were having kind of like the after party of the rec hockey tournament in our dressing room. So Drake and his teammates came flooding in. Drake sat beside me for a couple hours. We chatted golf, told me, what he had up his sleeve. Turned out to be pretty accurate for the summer, I would say. And it was a big summer for him for sure. But at that point, I had probably had 10 to 12 beers. So my memory was a little bit off, you might say. So that's kind of what I took from it. Was obviously not true. So Drake, maybe give us a little bit of background about yourself. Tell us about the Golf Highway, and tell us how good of a summer you had. We were talking about it earlier today, but it was a good summer for you.
Yeah. So I guess to shut down all the rumors about me just getting into golf, not too long ago. I have been playing golf for a while. started probably when I was like, I don't really remember, so it must have been pretty young. Cut down 7-iron and a putter up in
Like
up
22?
the woods. I was probably like 5 or 4, maybe.
That's so funny.
Is it?
I've been
Yeah.
for all year, every time I've talked about Drake, I'm like, oh, this kid started golfing like 4 years ago, and he's amazing. You
Yeah,
were
no. So
inspirational to me, and now that's all broken.
now it's
I
like,
thought there was
man,
hope, but
yeah,
no.
everything's out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started at a pretty young age. Fortunate, my dad was into golf. And he just cut down a 7-iron and a putt for me, and would bring me along for his 9-hole venture up in the woods of Thompson. And yeah, he'd hit his drive, drop a ball in the fairway, and give me my 7-iron and say, "Okay, I'll meet you at the green with your putter." So I just kind of figured it out, and pretty much the rest is history for my golf game. Never had a lesson, just kind of figured it out. So started at a young age, and yeah, I've had lots of help along the way. I mean, big shout out to my grandpa, my D. I know he's watching on here. He took me golfing a lot too. We used to host there'd be like a $1 million hole-in-one in Thompson that would happen every summer. It's kind of like just I guess a charity event, basically a fundraiser. And yeah, that's technically where I got my first hole-in-one. It was 80 yards away, and I had about 3 buckets of balls to hit. So does it really count? Probably not. But it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. So I ended up winning that $1 million hole-in-one one year.
You won the
Took
$1
it
million?
down. No, so that's the catch on it. That's where they get you. Yeah. So you
You owed $1
go.
million, didn't you?
That's pretty much what it was. Yeah. No.
You had to buy beers for everybody.
So there's like levels to it. Obviously, there's like the 5-day during the week qualifier to get onto the 10-man leaderboard. Goes from like a closest to the pin challenge, basically. And then you can qualify each of those 5 days, and each day you qualify, you get 3 shots in the semis. And the most I've ever qualified was 4 out of 5 days. But yeah, the time that I won, I only had the one qualification, and so you get to the semis. And then once you get to the semis, you have your 3 shots. Fire those 3 shots. Now you move back from 80 yards away to about, I think it's like $170, and then you make it to the finals. And then in the finals, you get 1 shot, and it's 3 guys, I think, make it to the finals from the semis, and then 1 shot is the $1 million. So it's very likely, but yeah, I ended up taking that down. But to carry on, yeah, I've been playing golf at it from a young age, so been around the game a lot. But as I kind of grew up to my teens, I grew out of love with golf a little bit, just because living up in Thompson, I mean, you only have the 1 9-hole course, and it kind of ever since, I guess, Farrell Asham used to be our greenskeeper there, so the greenskeeper for Portage now.
Mm-hmm.
He left down to Portage, and the course kind of took a little spill for a little bit as far as conditions wise, and that was in my teen years, and I just stopped playing. Really, I probably only played once a summer, and yeah, just carried on with my hockey career, and yeah, we all know that's got to come to an end. So back in 2018, I guess in March, have been my last kick at the can, and then I pretty much hung up the skates from there and moved to Brandon in 2018, and still needed I had a lot of compete left in me, but I didn't want to just jump on any hockey teams. I didn't really have a hockey team jump on either, so I picked up golf again more seriously, and once I moved to Brandon, I pretty much fell right back in love with it, just probably because of the amount of courses that are around. And
Okay,
yeah,
so
it is a
sorry, maybe that's where I got confused then, because you fell in love again a couple years ago with golf. Maybe that's the part where the disconnect was for me.
could be, yeah. So so yeah, so I really started getting back into golf hard in 2018 summer. Um, so that's when I kind of ripped it up, and yeah, I guess that summer I got on with Manitoba Infrastructure. You ever heard of it?
The highway.
The highway, yeah, and that's where it all stemmed. So I just decided that, hey, let's make a few videos, and what better name than Golf Highway? So just kind of random. I didn't really think too hard about it of what it could be or what I wanted it to be. I was working highways and I like to golf, and it just had a nice ring to it. So made that handle, and yeah, still don't know exactly where I'm going with it, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So
Perfect.
so yeah, and to get into, I guess, a little further with, I guess, the summers that progressed from 2018. Obviously, um, I didn't do as much Instagram stuff. I started obviously um, just kind of just videoing for myself, more or less just to be able to watch your swing. I found it really, really cool to be able to like look at your swing and stuff and
Yes.
learn from it. So that was kind of where I started with it. I didn't necessarily jump right into doing content and stuff. But then fast forward to the next summer of 2019, and um, uh, what was summer of 2019? Help me out here.
Right
That
before
wasn't anything
the
special.
world shut down. No, well, it probably was. 2020 wasn't. We had
Yeah,
to put
Right.
that's right.
styrofoam in the cup and not touch the pins.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess 2018 and 2019 summer, like I said, I didn't post much on Instagram. I just filmed kind of myself and created some little contraptions to help myself film when I was alone. So a little peg with a phone clip to be able to my phone up and stuff. And then we get into the summer of 2020, and that's where I got really bored because I got back from a trip from Arizona, and apparently the world shut down and couldn't get a job, and I was left with just this amount of time on my hands. So I figured, what the heck, let's start a YouTube channel. So I started a YouTube channel and started to vlog a few rounds. So traveled around a little bit, visiting family, friends, and did some YouTube stuff. So that's when I kind of first got into YouTube, and yeah, and basically I really fell in love with it. I loved the editing. I loved like being able to watch it back and figure out, why this happened or why that happened. But then also I really grown to like the aspect of me in 20 years when I want to show someone, oh, this is me 20 years ago, or if I just want to look back because I'm an old fart and I go, man, what I would do to like get that memory back again, or
No
like
doubt.
relive that moment. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Love
In
that.
2019. So or in 2020, sorry. So yeah, fast forward a couple of years. Kind of got busy. I took up, got into the trades. I'm a level 2, I guess third year now, third year electrical apprentice. And that kind of consumed of my time. So I wasn't left with all this free time to be a YouTube full time. So got a little distracted, if you will. Not distracted, just pivoted some things in a different way, using my energy in a little different way. But I've realized now, being away for a summer, that I really enjoy doing it. So I went back into it. Pretty full time, I would say. It's like a double full time. You got to juggle the actual job with this fake job, but it won't be a fake job. It'll be real
It's the
life.
funner one.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. This past summer though, it was a good summer. You were saying for me,
Absolutely.
really started to travel a lot more. Got in touch with courses and started to actually meet like the general managers or the pro shop guys or whatever. I wasn't just going into the golf course just to play a round of golf. I was going in there to create a relationship at that point. And I thought, what better way than to use my golf highway to be able to showcase these beautiful courses that I play. And yeah, it's got me growing. It's got me growing. It's at a nice turtle speed organic pace, but I like it. I'm not about the buying followers thing, so we're doing it all organically, and yeah, so we've doubled the following this summer, which is nice. I think I started this past summer with around 330, 40, and yeah, we're almost at 750. So
And
let's
what's
keep
your
it
goal
going.
for 2023? What do you want to get to?
24.
Oh, the end of this year. I got a goal set. I want to get to 1,000 followers. So want to keep
All right.
that community growing. And yeah. So if you haven't joined the Golf Highway, then feel free. It's absolutely free. It's 100% free.
Amen to that. We
Yeah.
we had a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but YouTube seems like it's harder to do. I don't know why that is, but that is. So anybody
Not many
listening to
people
this,
actually subscribe on YouTube
well,
to a show or a page or something like that. They'll
yeah,
watch the video, but as soon as the video's done, they'll wait till next week and
yeah,
come back to your profile and everything, but they won't hit subscribe.
yeah. So
Or
if
they
you're
just don't
watching
even
this,
have an account, right?
That's
true,
very true.
yeah,
Lots of people just don't even create an account, and they're just
that's
streamers.
true. So if you're watching this live right now, or if you're listening later or watching later, first of all, go make sure to follow Drake. He's at Golf Highway on Instagram. Also, a YouTube channel, Golf Highway, I believe, right? You changed the name?
That's correct.
Yeah.
She's
So
Golf
Golf
Highway
Highway
through and
on Instagram. What's that?
yeah, I was just saying she's Golf Highway through and through.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what you want. So make sure to do that. I'm probably going to remind you at the end of the show again, but make sure to do that because Drake has, just speaking from getting to know Drake through the summer, golfing with him, we had a couple fun matches, which one is still yet to be released, the rubber match at Nipoa, which was a wild one. But
Yeah.
he's got a lot of good stuff going on. He's very talented at what he does, and he's former lefty, so I automatically liked him. But there's lots coming from Golf Highway and King Golf. I'm sure we're going to do a lot together. But while you're here, while you're there, make sure to follow him. Let's help him hit his goal for 1,000. It's good to have goals.
What do you mean former lefty? You switched
My
up?
putt right.
No.
Oh.
Former or fellow. Right. That's what I meant to say. Fellow.
Oh, I thought you were referring to my putting.
Former lefty.
Okay, so we just can't trust anything George says anymore. He's fake news.
You know what I was thinking about YouTube the other day? The crazy part. This is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just to go off on a bit of a side highway. We're taking a back road here.
Love it.
But the crazy thing to me is like people actually pay to watch cable TV. They pay their satellite bill. They pay for MTS, Shaw, Westman Communications. They pay that. And the people that they watch on that TV are usually bullshitting them. They have some sort of agenda that they're trying to get you to follow. Whereas YouTube, you get to choose whatever you want. The people on here, you're usually watching them because they're talking stuff that you resonate with. And people still don't take the time to either like, subscribe. And I'm guilty of that too. So I'm not blaming other people. I'm just saying that's how we're kind of been trained and taught. And I think that one day, things will flip on its head. And I think we're close to that. So that's my back road from the Golf
YouTube
highway.
Does have like its downsides too, right? Like they're literally in control of what is seen and what isn't seen. So if they're not in agreement with what's on the screen, they can take it off. I don't know if you guys follow Barstool all that much, but they have like a running Survivor type show that they do with their content creators, and it got pulled from YouTube because one guy was filing out the one night and was talking some shit, and YouTube said, "Well, you can't say that shit on YouTube, so we're taking it down. You're no longer monetized, all this stuff." So they literally had to pull the entire Barstool page from YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's
But
just there are some dumb shit with everything.
there is, but think about the amount of work you have to go to get on television, to
Oh, yeah.
to tell a vision. Like you got to know somebody who knows somebody who knows some about it.
Little trick
Like
daddy
that
for you.
drums.
Yeah.
Okay, but one thing I did want to say here, Drake, I want to give a fourth cheers to your grandpa, because grandpas are the shit.
Absolutely.
I miss my grandpas every single day of my life, and so cheers to grandpas.
So
Cheers, D.
All right, so Drake, we're on the Gulf Highway. Things are moving well. You're on cruise control, some might say, growing. But you were also just in Utah and Nevada, right?
Yes, sir.
What was happening there, and maybe tell us what was happening there. Tell us your favorite course and the highlight from the trip.
Yeah. So super cool opportunity. Guy that had reached out this summer, Josh Rutherford, came to Toba and was filming some YouTube content for himself. So needed some Gulf Highway expertise, I guess, and yeah, so we linked there, and then he was going down to Utah and Vegas to collaborate with other creators, and really enjoyed the experience between us. So he said, "Why not run it back?" So brought me down to Utah, and that was greatly appreciated. I got to experience some really cool courses that I've never played before. Got to meet some really cool people, and just had a lot of fun down there. So yeah, I guess first things first. I flew down to Vegas, and then we rented a car and drove straight from the airport to St. George, Utah. So the southern part of Utah, and we met up with a fellow named Malosi Golf. So, or I guess his real name is Malosi Togasala. You may have heard of him. You may have seen him. Short, stocky little guy, but he can get the ball out there pretty nicely. He's been doing a fine job of his growth on social media this past year too. So yeah, we went out and played at his home course for starters, Coral Canyon. Apparently that course was not doing so well till he stepped in the picture and kind of brought things back to life there for the course. So
Really?
really cool job on his part. Yeah, for sure.
okay, like
So that was really
how
cool.
so? Like what? Just with him filming his content, it
Yeah,
brought
I
people
think
in.
just the awareness on social media, like just the eyeballs that got
Literally
that
just
kind
seeing the
of
course, basically.
literally, yeah, just catching wind of this course and it just creating more traffic to the course. Um
Which is perfect
so
for
yeah, so
you
there
because it does showcase what can happen if you correctly showcase a golf course.
absolutely, like there is value in the marketing side for golf courses with guys like you and guys like me. So
When it's done
where you at,
correctly.
golf
Yes.
courses? My phones are open. Yeah. So we started off the trip in St. George, Utah. Played at Coral Canyon. I didn't play the first day actually. Let me backpedal a bit. I just filmed, so I was the camera guy first day. We were doing some filming. I guess that was the project of trip. Was I was a unique camera angle and just extra set of hands to be able to make the production a little bit better and quicker and more efficient. And yeah, so they did a YouTube video at Coral the first day. Really nice course, really beautiful course. I didn't play first day. But second day, we got down to Sand Hollow. Some of you may know this course. Real ones will know. It's an absolute picturesque course. Like, just it doesn't even feel like you're on planet Earth for a minute. There's a stretch of, I think, 5 holes. It's between 12 to 15 or 16, where you're just on this cliff side of a canyon. And yeah, like if you miss left, your ball's good night. Like, it's not like maybe we'll find it. It's probably 200 feet down the cliff. But
is that the picture you sent me or video that you sent me, like kind of when you were there? I'm pretty sure that's where it was from.
probably, yeah. I think I did a reel of it along the cliffside, basically. It was the Sand Hollow one, but
This was in
yeah,
Utah,
that's kind of
right?
the picture. That's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of the picture that if you ever heard of Sand Hollow, you would know the hole. I'm pretty sure it's hole 12, and it's just like, you've seen it on Instagram, I'm sure of it. You've probably seen it on a calendar of some sort, or like a poster or somewhere, because it's beautiful. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That's where I first ran into Finau, and that was a really cool exchange. So
Okay, what was
yeah,
his name?
Josh Gipper.
Gipper.
Might be one
Gipper.
of the greatest names of all time.
Yeah,
Well, that's not his real name, is it?
yes, that is his
That's
name.
his given name.
Yeah, Gipper Finau.
How do you go from Anthony / Tony to Gipper?
Well, there's 11 more, isn't there? So I'm
That's
sure
true.
there's a few
There's
other ones
45
that are
people in
probably,
that family, so they're running out of names.
yeah.
I thought that was like his nickname and just what he went by.
Yeah, no. So he got us on there. I didn't play the whole course, but I got to play enough holes to really get the experience. I got to play the stretch of holes that were alongside the cliff, so that was really cool. And then following day, we went up Hurricane, Utah, which is just a little more north of St. George, probably about 10 minutes, just a little small town. And we played Copper Rock. So this one's really cool. It's a newish course, I think. But it's just alongside this huge, I don't know what to call it. Like, I guess it's a canyon. I guess it's not quite a mountain, but I mean, I would call it a mountain because we call our little Turtle Hill a mountain. So
Our hills.
that's definitely a mountain in my eyes. So that was really cool. Got to play the back in there, and that was, yeah, just a really cool experience. I actually got a cool little video with Gipper incorporated in it, and we were playing a little closest to, and I won't tell you who won. But anyways, so that was really cool. And that video will be really cool when it comes out. So that kind of summed up the Utah trip. I guess technically that's not quite it, but that sums up the courses we played. But we did go back to Coral Canyon on our last day, and I filmed a match against Josh for my YouTube channel, a 6-hole match. It went to 7 holes, so that's a barn burner that you will be enjoying for sure. But yeah, so that kind of summed up our Utah trip, and then we took a little gander over to Nevada, went back to Las Vegas, and yeah, we played Coyote Springs, which was in Mesquite.
Yep.
Yep. Little north. I think it's probably about 40
town?
minutes. I mean, I don't even think it's like we didn't go to the town. Like, there was supposed to be all this development there, and they're supposed to build like 4 or 5 courses in that area. It was supposed to be like the new like PGA of the West, like kind of the La Quinta like that
Black
California,
and
like
Terra.
PGA West. Yeah, help me out here. Ross would know. Put it in the chat. He goes
Yeah,
down
La
there.
Quinta. You're right.
La Quinta, yeah, that's it. So anyways, yeah, so Coyote Springs supposed to be a bunch of house development and like a bunch of course development there, but it kind of all fell through. I don't exactly know why, but they're kind of looking for balls off the fairway into the rocky areas. You could see like the lots all packed down and stuff, but just no houses on the lots. So
But there's like at least 5 or 6 or more like premier golf courses within the small community there. It's like a retirement community there. Wolf
crazy.
Creek
Okay.
is there. Wolf Creek is in Mesquite,
Ah.
and we played a course called Conestoga, which is also in Mesquite. There's like 5 or 6 or more really like high-end golf courses within this small community. So is Coyote Springs a newer one there?
Yeah, I think it's relatively new. It's a really nice course. Filmed the front nine, YouTube for Josh's, and then on the back nine I was able to play. It's a really tough course though. Like, can't exactly remember the yardage, but from the tips it was long, like really long. Like usually you'd be like those fairway bunkers that are out in the middle of the fairway. Like if you hit one, usually you're either in them or just above. Like I could hit one as hard as I could, and I would be short of the bunkers. So it was
Really?
they weren't even in play for me. So it was like, yeah, like a 300-yard drive wasn't even getting to the bunkers. So so you could tell it was set up for some distance and like the PGA Tour potentially. So yeah, that was a lot of fun at Coyote Springs. Really good time.
How's Gipper as a golfer?
Yeah, I mean he's got game. He just I don't know if I should say this, but he just had like Achilles surgery like 4 weeks before.
Shit.
So but I mean couldn't tell because he was absolutely nuking drives and flushing
on that
shots.
Aaron Rodgers diet, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so.
Was he celebrating the hole in one like his older bro?
Rolling the ankle.
That's one of the wildest things ever. First time at
No,
the
but
Masters.
apparently he has a. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just saying, first time at the Masters, hole in
Oh,
one,
yeah.
par 3, Monday. Let's go. And 2 seconds later, we're gone.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's tough for sure. No, apparently he's got 27 hole-in-ones though. So I mean,
Gipper?
he was, yeah.
So what does he do? Like, is he trying to golf? Or is he a creator? Or what's he doing?
Yeah, so I guess a little backstory on Gipper is he was like a first generation big breaker, like the Big Break show, you know, the golf show. So him and Tony were like
show ever.
Yeah, so him and Tony were like first gen Big Break contestants. And
wait, I had no idea Tony was on this.
You did?
Yeah, me neither. Honestly, me neither.
No, the only guy I ever remember was the motherfucker that had 2 gloves on. And then this other guy, he was the biggest dweeb that ever existed, and his name was Don Donatello, and that's the only reason I remember his name.
He was legit though, but he was like he was so intense. If you get a chance, go back and watch those first few seasons of the Big Break. Like Don Donatello on there is so intense, but like it's so entertaining to watch. Like, and who's the other guy that was on there? Kip something.
Kip Henley. He's a caddy.
Right.
He won it actually. He won it on Don Donatello's year with Tommy Two Guns Gainey.
Yes.
I'm having flashbacks or something here.
Anyway, sorry, Drake.
No, all good. I don't mind. I feel like I'm kind of crowding the mic a little bit, but I guess this is my segment kind of thing, so we're all good.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, yes, he and Tony, Big Break, first geners, and then after that, he went over and became professional in Asia, I believe, like the PGA Tour of Asia, or I don't know exactly what it's called, but the Asian Tour. And then worked his way up to the European Tour. and then I guess fell out of love with golf a little bit. Similar story to me, I guess, was probably golfing some shitty courses and just didn't like putting on bug spray and just kind of fell out of love with the game. So,
Oh God, the bugs must be bad up there, eh? I couldn't even imagine.
yeah. So yeah, he took a break and became a rigger. Went to the oil fields, got in a pretty bad accident, and then his wife pulled him out of it and said, "You are not pursuing this career because you're too good of a golfer. So we're finding you something." Basically, yeah. Yeah, so now he's got a foundation, the Gipper Finau Foundation, and it supports mental health, and he's looking to grow the game of golf.
Awesome.
So
Love that.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, Gipper was Tony Finau's golf coach for a few years. I think it was like 4 or 5 years while he was going through the PGA Tour Canada and then up to the PGA Tour. So
is Gipper older then?
Gotta be.
Gipper is 11 months younger.
What?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, imagine your younger brother's your golf coach, but I mean, I kind of went through that with Reggie for 10 years, so and he's 4 years younger than me. So
There
I
you
get
go.
it. Not on tour or anything, but like I get it. So that's pretty cool. And he was a good guy.
Yeah, really, really good dude. Like you
Gonna
could
try to
tell like
find him on
he was
Instagram.
just telling us the PGA Tour, it wasn't for him. He was telling us like it just wasn't his vibe. Not yeah,
he
he's
couldn't get
more of
on, or
no, like he could have been Tony's coach moving forward on the PGA Tour.
oh,
So
like
he could have
coaching. Gotcha.
and just the vibe of the PGA Tour and like competing like even over in the Euro Tour, like it just wasn't him. It wasn't his
Sure.
thing. He's more of a homie. He's not like a I don't know the word for it. What's the word when you're when you're like I don't know, like a boys club, PGA
Yeah,
Tour.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, so he was more of a homie and kept it real with, absolute nobodies like myself. So that was pretty cool to see that. He was, he was willing to, get to know me a little bit. And yeah, that was a really cool connection I made with him. The guy follows me on Instagram now, so I'm basically famous.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty sweet.
His Instagram is Gipper Finau, Gipper. So
That's
if
right.
anybody's interested in checking them out, King Golf just followed him as well. So if you want to put a face to the story, Gipper Finau.
Love it. That big break stuff is just blowing my mind, though. We got to get Roscoe on board so that we can have like a big break competition out there. Have some of those cool
like
challenges and shit, like glass breaking and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. He mentioned to me actually if I could fly my drone with like a balloon with like water in it.
So and we're hitting
like a target.
Oh, look
at that. And then I was like, but like, I don't know. That's like that drone at my expense.
I'm straight up aiming for the drone.
You probably hit it.
I wouldn't hit it, so it's safe. But
we have instantaneous confirmation from Roscoe in the chat. He is in.
All right.
Nice.
So, what would we need there? We'd probably need like maybe 40 old panes of glass. We could sign a deal with like McMunn Yates or South End or whoever would have Home Hardware. Odie, if you're listening to this in Dauphin, Felicia in McMunn Yates, Dauphin, we got to get some glass. We'll get the big break going. That would be huge. I think that would be so cool to do. I think that would be very unique to do. And I think that if there's one thing that people would actually for sure tune into, it's a bunch of dummies at Shanks trying to smash a pane of glass with a golf ball.
Oh, Christ, Reg is on here.
We will find glass.
Yeah, if we have to start stealing glass, we'll find it. Whatever.
I was like, what the hell? Did we get hacked? Who's typing? Did I type that? Okay. So where were we here? Where were we?
I think it was Coyote
Um,
Springs. But
yeah,
we kind of went into into Gipper a little bit. But yeah, so Coyote
sorry.
Springs was the last course that we left off at. But yeah, then I finally got to play a full on 18 holes of golf. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. We went to Paiute Golf Resort. They have 3 courses, I'm pretty sure. Sun Mountain, the Wolf course, and then we played Snow Mountain is what it was. So yeah, beautiful course. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I anytime I shoot in the 70s when I'm playing a brand new course, I'm always just licking my fingers, and yeah,
Amen to
it's a
that.
good time.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that was a good time. We filmed a YouTube match there on Josh's. So lots of filming, lots of videoing golf, lots of content. The trip was amazing. And
Look like you got a
yeah, I got.
suntan.
I mean, I'm probably still blushing, to be honest, or I'm just nervous or something. I don't know, but
I was thinking that was
it
like
was.
3 weeks ago, and you're still rocking that.
How long? Suntans last longer than 3 weeks, man,
Yeah,
don't
trust
they?
me, I'm white as F, so mine lasts for a month.
Whoa. Why
Yeah,
F?
mine.
You don't
Keep
swear
it
anymore,
clean.
drums?
Keep it clean. I hit my limit.
Okay, not a boy.
I think my face is just still red from last summer. I didn't put a lick of sunscreen on, so note to self. I
Amen
think
to that.
I gotta put some sunscreen on next summer, especially every day I'm golfing, which is every day. So I should just put some sunscreen on every day.
Oh, you don't need sunscreen. Sunscreen is the most overrated thing
I'm
invented.
gonna get in my dad mode here. Put that shit on.
Yeah, I think I got to.
I
I would
mean,
just like to get some natural color back into my face, other than being absolutely tomatoed all the time. So
Word,
yeah,
I
I
hear
think
you.
sunscreen is the play. That's my New Year's resolution right there. I'm calling it right now.
that's a
To
horrible
get sunscreen
resolution.
involved.
Just to wear sunscreen next summer.
Okay, do it
That's a
one.
great.
That's your resolution. Wear it for one day, the hottest day of summer, and then scrap it
I
for
don't
the
know.
rest.
Jory used to be the one to remind me to do it because he's seen what happened when I never wore sunscreen. So he should be on our page.
Yeah, I was. I used to be a very big believer in sunscreen, Drummy.
No, but proper sunscreen, not like the poison shit.
So all
You
of
can
it.
get proper shit. You can get proper stuff. Um, yeah.
Oh
For
yeah,
those
one
who are
last thing. Sorry.
Go.
no, I was just gonna
Just
say
yeah. Oh,
for those who are listening right now, we don't have to have a debate on sunscreen. Who those who are new to the podcast, um, yeah, there's a story there. It involves skin cancer, and so that's the issue there is that I have with sunscreen. I'm not saying that's what caused it. I'm saying that every time I would go out in the sun, I would put sunscreen on like religiously, and that's you know whether that's true or not, that's my belief on it. So
I'm
I don't want
speaking
to.
not even on like a cancer fight, just so you don't look like a lobster and burn your face off.
Yeah, but I mean, do responsibly. Take the shade for a while. Take cover, drum.
Anyways, let's
Sorry.
get.
I just didn't want people to think that I was like an anti,
Sure, no.
yeah,
And you have reason to be,
yeah.
understandably.
So Drake, anyways,
Um,
carry on.
yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna say. So that kind of summed up the golf. We got to do a little bit of adventuring as well. Ventured ventured to the Hoover Dam, which I've never been to before. So that was a
Okay.
really cool experience for me. Got to see how low the water is and how much the Earth actually isn't flooding with water. So the Antarctica icebergs are a myth. Just kidding. That's fresh water, not water. So yeah, but no, it's super cool, man. It's really like it's one of those I don't know if you want to call it monument or what, but it's like
Wonders
I've
of the
been to
world.
the like yeah, I've been to Mount Rushmore before, and like you see the pictures, but then when you get there, it's like holy man, like you're it's breathtaking, really, how big it is.
Okay, you started it with the conspiracy stuff. What do you think's in there?
And where?
The dam.
The Hoover Dam?
Yeah.
Water?
Okay.
I would think it's freshwater.
No, you got to get on your YouTubes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's not. It's not salt water, is it?
No,
Oh no, you're
like
saying
there's
it's not in
conspiracy
water.
of like what's in there, who's behind it, what aliens are controlling it. But we'll move on.
Yeah. So yeah, Hoover Dam was super cool. That was a lot of fun. And then we went to Fremont Street. So that was a sight. I remember going there because I went to Vegas probably back when I was about, I don't know, 10 or 11. My mom brought me and my sister to Vegas. We stayed at the Excalibur and did all the cool shows and fun stuff to do when you're a kid in Vegas. But I don't remember Fremont Street being that Thompson, Manitoba like, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, she's a shit show.
Yeah. So
It's a living,
yeah.
breathing
But
shit
I did
show, that
tune
whole
in.
street.
Yeah, it's cool, but I did take a minute to tune into the podcast while I was there, so
Yeah,
that was
seen
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, big shout out for that. That's a wild
Yeah.
that's a wild move, but we appreciate it. It earned you a spot
Yeah, I
on
mean,
here.
it may have. It may have.
It 100% did.
So
If he is out with these mutants on Fremont Street, but he's more in tune with us, all right, he deserves to get on.
Yeah. You earned a spot.
perfect.
So
So yeah, that pretty much sums up the trip. I mean, that's the trip. It was super cool. I got to golf a lot of places that I've never golfed before and probably would have never golfed in my life, at least not before going to them with a little appetizer. So super cool to be able to play all those courses. I got a lot of good content, so I'm able to keep up with my social for the rest of this drought, we call it, I guess, in Canada. And yeah, and I met some really cool people there too. So that's always a bonus when you create new relationships and connections. So
yeah,
There we
that's
go.
awesome,
You just
man.
created another term too. It's not winter anymore. It's just golf drought. We're in the golf drought.
it's the golf drought.
That's a good call. Okay, we do have some breaking news here. Roscoe has got the rules for the glass break challenge, so we need 18 by 24 panes of glass from 25 yards.
This is going to take a life on of its own, and I love it.
It's official now.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
What
there's
are we
so
gonna
many
call
things
it?
we can do.
I don't know. Probably
The
big break.
shank.
The big shanks.
I don't hate the big shanks.
We're cooking.
Okay. So that is awesome, Drake. That sounds like one heck of a trip, I would say. The entire time I was listening, I was probably turning green from envy.
Yeah.
Especially since you went. What's that?
Or when we were watching in real time.
Yeah, true. That as well. But yeah, that's awesome, man. I hope that maybe the Kingdom and the Golf Highway can go on a similar adventure one day. Except, well, yeah, we'll leave it there. But let's
Maybe.
let's
I
move.
think we will.
Yeah, I think so too. We actually have a plan in place for next fall that might hopefully be what would you say that might come together sooner. The idea might happen faster. We kind of ran out of time this year, which was unfortunate, but I mean, it's called the Golf Highway for a reason. I love that aspect about it. I love that you're going place to place, following the highway, whatever courses are on that highway, you stop and play. And so, yeah, that's awesome, man. I think, Steve-O is in. We got a third drummy, Reggie.
Yep.
Roscoe.
Well,
we will have 8.
We'll see how we're doing with these kids that keep coming around here. You mentioned, like, were you the one to reach out to the local courses as well, and just say, hey, I'd love to come and film things? or did they request you?
No, it's all been me that's reached out. I mean, I don't think anyone's really paying attention to my 300, 400, 500 followers, so they don't see me as a uh, asset or tool just from that alone. So me having to fill them in a little bit is probably my best bet until that happens one
Yeah,
day.
no, I was gonna say not yet.
Yeah, you got to learn some people
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
What the hell was I gonna ask you? Anyways, it might come to me. Let's we're an hour in here. Usually we like to wrap it up just over an hour, but we still got a couple segments. We've been doing the Reggie Stroke Saver. Reggie is in the chat tonight, so he unfortunately won't be able to read one tonight. But we do have the Drake version. But first, we're gonna do our Fix Your Divots, and this has this one's coming from Drake as well.
It's just me? Jesus. I
Well,
thought there was
we'll
more.
get-
I thought you said to add one. Like
We got a
no,
Drake
you
day.
meant add the only one.
Okay.
No, I'll do it. It comes via you.
Okay.
I'll give your
that's
voice
fair.
a rest if you need.
I'll,
Yeah.
That's fair.
but I'd rather do it, honestly.
Okay, absolutely perfect then.
Okay, hold on.
100%. I mean, it's got to
hold
come
on.
from me. I mean,
Got to come from the source.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
also feel this one as well. But let's take a little bit of a breather here. Let's take a break. I got to bring up the sponsor for the Fix Your Divot segment. I'm gonna do a bit of an ad read again because it's important to do, and they got some cool stuff happening. So the Fix Your Divot segment is our weekly segment that we do. We ask you, the viewer, the person on Instagram, on wherever platform you're on, what is your biggest pet peeve on the golf course? And so we take that information in, we pick the winner for each week, the best pet peeve, and that is the Fix Your Divot segment. And so it is sponsored every week by the Premier Golf Tour in Manitoba, the Prairie Scratch Tour. And they had a post a couple weeks ago. I read it last week, but I'm going to read it again because it is pretty exciting. So the team at Prairie Scratch Tour has been working hard for the last few weeks to prepare for the upcoming 2024 golf season. We thrive for excellence and success in all areas of the tour to ensure that you, the players, have a top-tier experience in competition. We are officially back in 2024. So the Prairie Scratch Tour is back, coming in 2024. They have a new schedule, new golf courses, some new gear, some merch, a pro division, and a new event called the Prairie Cup, and more. So if you're interested in learning more, if you're interested in competing in one of these events, you can follow them on Instagram, Prairie Scratch Tour. You can go to their website, prairiescratchtour.ca, and you might see one of us in one of the events next year. Could be me, could be drums, could be Drake, could be Reggie, who is pretending to be somebody else. He's catfishing right now. He's trying to catfish us. Boomer's in the house tonight. He says he's late, but it looks like he still beat Reggie. Boomer, you didn't, because Reggie is not on the show, but he's been throwing in some wild comments for the last. He wants to be on the show. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we know where his heart is.
So, Drake, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Well, so I guess as a content creator, this one just came to mind, and it doesn't happen all the time, but this has happened in the past. And I know you guys like to promote quick play on the course, so this might be an unpopular opinion from myself, but I must say, for that golf content that you sponge up and soak up on Instagram, there has to be a creator. There has to be a creation of that. So I guess my pet peeve is the group behind me that says, the group in front, they're filming, that's why they're slow. That might not be true. In some cases, hey, it might be. Most of the time, we're letting guys through. I mean, if we're getting pressed on and there's no one ahead of us, and that's not even just when I'm filming. That's any time, really. That's absolutely any time on the golf course. I'm letting the people go through because obviously they got you know, a 4 o'clock foot massage to go to, and they don't want to spend another minute on the course. But that's not the case for me. I absolutely love my time on the course. So, so my pet peeve is when you're giving the guy a hard time for filming some content in front of you, maybe just think twice about it, and yeah, maybe just maybe don't give us such a hard time, because we're working hard at what we do, and yeah, we like putting out the good content that you guys enjoy watching. So, you know, put us somewhere special in your heart a little bit.
Yeah, amen to that. I would agree with that. I mean, I can understand both sides of it for sure. I think that there's a
I do
time and
too.
place for it on the course. You see the TikTok videos of people with their cell phone set up and they're doing like a dance, like a TikTok dance on the green or on the tee. But you have to keep in mind here that the reason that we're at your course, if you're, you know, gonna bitch about it, we're at your home course, is gonna be on the internet. And you heard what Drake said about half an hour ago about what was it, Copper Canyon, who got turned around by Coral Canyon. And so what we're doing there is what we've been doing anyways. I can't speak for all people who film on the golf course, but we're promoting your golf course for free. Like,
for your benefit.
For your benefit, to bring people into your town. I mean, I can understand being a little bit frustrated, but there's no reason to be dinks about it. And as Steve says here, Neepawa proved that for Drake and Jor. It was a very unpleasant experience, to be honest with you. And it's not something that, you know, I would go out of my way to talk about, but there was a group of 2 guys behind us. Steve was out there. Drake was with, we were with 3 of us there, Steve, Drake, and I. And the guys were basically like yelling and hitting balls while we were still putting out. And we weren't taking a very long time. There was 2 of them. There was 10 people on the golf course. It was mid-October. Like, fuck off.
I agree. I totally agree.
So that was it. And I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, and even Oak Island, like the first hole there, if you watch the match against me and or against Drake, we both took a double there because there was guys right behind us. And so we were trying to finish as fast as we possibly could. And that's kind of what happens. Like, I don't enjoy feeling that anxiety. Like, it's shitty, but like, we're out there to promote the golf course that we're playing. Like, I don't know, just cut a bit of slack, I guess. That's all I would say there.
Yeah,
for sure. And that is what we're here to inform the public of. There'd be many people that just showed up at Oak Lake that day and wondered, what the hell is going on here? This is the new world. This is what happens a bit at golf courses now. It's only going to increase. But like Drake said, he's not disrespectful. He knows how to conduct himself at a golf course. So if you see Drake in the West, man,
salute, give him a salute. There, buy him a beer.
Give him a salute.
And
he will let you pass if you're in needing of passing.
Like, but these guys literally
don't ruin shots.
Seconds.
Don't be an asshole about it. Even if it's just you catch up to him on the next hole, be just a simple, hey, do you mind if I pass on the next hole or whatever it is? I'm sure he would let you do that. You don't need to be a dick about
it. These guys legitimately waited like 15 seconds. Like, the issue is that they see somebody recording. So it's like something snaps in their head that these guys are automatically, you know, going to take forever. But
fucking weirdos on TikTok.
And on the flip side of that, like Drake, you'll attest to this. At Oak Island, we probably had 3 or 4 groups come up to us who were very friendly, asking questions, just, you know, telling them about the course. One of the guys that came and talked to us was the old owner of the course. So not everybody's like this, for sure. But it's just like the 1 or 2 groups that kind of ruin it for, you know, guys who are there to promote the golf course. So,
right.
I don't know. I'm with you there, Drake.
Thanks.
And sorry for swearing anybody who's just tuning in tonight. But that's the thing about the Kingdom, is sometimes things happen on here. As you know, if you've been watching for a while, things are live, things get heated, and that's the way she goes. Yes, and Cam's got a really good point here. Sorry to keep touching on this, but he said there's a big difference between waiting on one hole or waiting for the whole 9. Right?
100%.
If you're waiting for a hole, 30 seconds, you can just chill out a little bit. Like, things are going to be okay in your life. So, anyways, let's move on. F that guy and Nipoa, those two. Making
They
my
better get
blood
used to
boil
it
here.
though, because it's only gonna happen more.
Yeah, 100%.
As in, like, the camera, not the slow play. The camera. It'll
Yes.
be out all summer.
And that's what it is. I think it's more like the camera. They see the camera, they immediately think these people are doing something stupid.
Yep. Okay. So, as we mentioned, every week, Reggie, also known as the Kngdom podcast in the chat right now, does a segment called Reggie Stroke Saver. So the idea there is that we want to give a few tips, whether the tips are found in a good golf book, in a YouTube video, or in this case, from a round that you play with somebody else and a tip that they pass your way. So the idea here is we want to help people shave a few strokes off the golf game, and which leads to people enjoying the game of golf, growing the game, which is what the Kngdom was born or was spawned, the reason for it. So, Drake, what is tonight? We're going to call this one Drake's Stroke Saver.
Switch up.
Yeah, thank you for dishing that off. I'm just sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Steve's on every comment.
We love it though. We love it.
He's buzzing.
Me too. Yeah, he is buzzing. I love it. So yeah. So I guess there's lots of Steve talk tonight. Also lots of Gipper Finau talk, because this guy's a wizard when it comes to reading greens. Kind of dummied it down, really dummied it right down. And for some people, you might already know this. The better golfers out there, or even just the golfers that got an insider on it, you may have already found out about this tip. And it's how you go about reading your putt, basically, and how you would start that. How most people would start it, I should say, is they would put a mark on their ball, maybe step 4 feet behind your mark and take a look down the line at your putt and see how much you need to play outside the hole, or whatever the case may be. This is not a great way for consistency, which is what I've heard, and it surprised me. But there's this one simple tip that is going to blow your mind away, or it might not. But yeah, so I guess we'll start off with when you mark your ball and you pick your ball up, don't go right behind your ball mark and take a look from behind your ball to the hole. Try and find the lowest point of the green. So say where the hole is, try and find, if you were to pour a bucket of water on the green, where is the bucket of water running down to? That's going to be your straight putt, also known as the zero line. So you're going to want to find this zero line. Once you get underneath the hole and you find the straight putt up the hole, then you walk to the other side of the hole, which is above the hole, and find the high side of the zero line. And now you take a look back at your ball from the high point. Once you've taken a look there, then there's a little bit of guesswork that comes into play. So obviously, how far out am I playing this break, right? Obviously is going to be the next question. Well, I mean, it all depends on speed. It all depends on, like, how are you trying to make this putt? Are you trying to throw it, or are you just trying to dive, or are you just trying to have it roll in on the last roll and die in there? Obviously, that kind of speaks for itself. Like, you're gonna take less break if you want to hit it, but more break if you want to try and die it in there. So anyway, so when you're on that top side of the zero line, that's where you kind of want to zone in on a spot. And by a spot, I mean a piece of grass or a leaf, or just something there that you see, an imperfection green that you want your ball to roll two basically. So if you want your ball to get to that point and then it'll fall into the hole. So once you pick that spot, you don't really want to be looking at the hole. I mean, you might take a glance, but you want to zone in on your spot because, you know, like everything in whether it's like baseball or let's just say baseball. Like you're not, if you're a pitcher, you're not looking at the dirt or you're not looking, you're not looking at the dirt and throwing it to the catcher's mitt. You're looking at the catcher's mitt and throwing it to the catcher's mitt. Like you're looking at where you want this thing to go. So if you're looking straight at the hole and you got a breaker of a putt, you're most likely going to miss. So once you've zoned in on that spot that you want to putt to, or you're focusing in where you want that ball to roll over, I mean, you just pick your pace and roll that some buck and walk her in. So you're welcome. Actually, thanks, Skipper.
You're welcome. That's good shit.
So yeah, maybe try it out. I mean, I haven't fully tested this method enough, but at the same sense, I would like to definitely get a little more into it when I have breakers. When I'm basically, if I have like a 3-footer or like a 10-footer, but it breaks like, you know, 2 or 3 feet, like it breaks a lot. I'm just kind of guessing on how far out I'm playing it versus actually finding the low point and then getting to the high side of the straight putt and actually picking the spot that I want to roll this on. So that's my stroke saver. So yeah, thanks to Gipper for sharing that insight with me, because it was a real game changer for me when I heard it. I would have never thought to find the straight putt on the green before I would have read my putt.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
That makes.
And
yeah,
you know, when
it's just hilarious that nobody's ever brought that forward. I've never heard that before, like you said.
And that's what I was gonna say. It's like guys who are at that level, they have access to. I shouldn't say like it's a big thing, but it is. Like when you have
Top secret info.
It is huge.
When you're bumping shoulders with people who, you know, can shoot those kind of scores, they think differently than the average golfer that you see at the home course. And one thing I love about that is that, you know, as a kid, you're kind of you're taught to either read it from left to right or right to left. You might go 1 ball outside, you might go 2 balls outside. But I really like the visual of the high point and aiming there, because the issue that I do have with aiming, say 1 or 2 balls left or right of it, is that you're focused on that, you know, on basically missing the hole almost. But if you can find like a spot, the high point where you want to get to, and your body will kind of naturally adjust to that. And if you can get it to that point with the right pace, if that's what you read, you know, there's a really good chance that putt's going to go in. And, you know, it's hard to really visualize how much 2 balls is versus 1 ball versus whatever. But if you can pick a point where you want to hit it, where you see it starting to come down to the hole, I think that's a much better way to do it. And the other part there is, this is something from Zen Golf in terms of, Drake, you were talking about like whether you want to pour it in or dribble it in. And in Zen Golf, he basically talks about if it's an uphill putt, then you want to pour it in the hole because it has to get there, right? So that's kind of the visual that you want to put in your mind. And if it's a downhill putt, you want it to just trickle over the front edge of the lip because it's downhill. So you don't want to run and by too fast, right? So that's kind of what I would add to that, is just like the downhill, uphill, pour it in versus drip it in part of that.
Pace portion.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Like if it's uphill, you're most likely not taking as much break because you're pounding it.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the idea of like picking a spot so you're actually focused on rolling that ball over that spot. That's maybe it's a 10-foot putt, but you pick a spot that's like 2 feet, like 2 feet from the hole, but it's still like 8 feet from the ball. But like you're honing in on that spot that's 2 feet away from the hole versus the hole, or outside the hole or whatever, right? Like pick an actual spot on the green that's gonna have your focus and like your energy focus to hit your putt to there, because most times when you're trying to hit a ball or throw a ball or do anything and you're honing in on where you want it to go, it happens. I mean, golf's a different beast, but I find putting should be easier, especially for everyone, because you're not full swinging, so you're really having feel and touch, and like you're able to control. It's more like it's a lot easier to control than when you're whipping that club around at 100 miles an hour. So yeah.
Yes. Even the shittiest golfers with the shittiest swings can save a lot of strokes on the green, because it's something that everybody can do.
Yep.
Yes.
If you practice, if you commit to becoming a better putter and learning things like this, it's an easy way to chipping off the green and putting is the key to getting from a 90s to the 80s. Or
like John Daly said,
drive for dough.
Chip and putt.
John Daly said a lot of things in his life.
I'm not sure he remembers most of them.
True. We got a question in the chat. Also, we should give a shout out to Boomer. He said, "Did you guys talk Rom Liv yet? Kind of choked Reg isn't live for his facial expressions and visible frustration."
Which we didn't really, so maybe we will just save it for Reggie.
Yeah. Well, I did post something on Instagram about our Hurricane Rombo chat that was a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So that turned out to be right.
He's in full force.
Yeah.
I was watching that video anticipating there actually was like a hurricane, but I shortly after I clued in.
Yeah, it's you'll understand. It's hard to name videos. It's hard to get the name or the title right. So here's a question for Drake in the chat from Cuz, who, by the way, shout out to Colby. He passed his CPA exam on Friday. He got the news. So the 5th cheers of the night to our good buddy Cuz, Colby. Get to be a CPA. It's.
Didn't you write that like 4 months ago?
I'll take a sip before explaining, but that is one heck of an accomplishment. It's not an easy process to get through. And so big shout out to him. It's a lot of hours. So what's your favorite tournament from the summer, Drake? Think the tour.
I know what he's thinking about. It was a 2-day event in the 18 Birdies app with our little golf group. I can't exactly remember the tourney, but boy, was she windy. And I think I beat all the boys. I think it was net. I beat the boys net. I might have beat a couple of guys gross, but I had a great day, and I won the 2-day tourney. So that was pretty cool. I had the lead after day 1 and held strong for day 2. So that was a pretty big accomplishment for me.
Oh boy.
But at the same time, what did he say? Favorite tournament of the year?
I think that's what he meant.
Said?
Sounds right.
Okay.
He said
favorite tournament. Yeah.
I was gonna say my favorite round is easily my 1 under, but
not a big deal.
Yeah, it was all right, I guess. Could have been
Where was the 1 under?
But I guess
Weed City.
Let you have it. Yes, yeah.
That's why.
Roscoe is asking what the verdict is on the Guinness Nitro, 1 to 10. If you like Guinness, probably up to snuff with Guinness. So whatever you'd rate a Guinness out of 10, I'd say it's pretty close to that. Probably not the best beer to be drinking at 10 p.m. at night when you got to be up in about 8 hours from now. So good tasting beer, poor timing, but overall, I'd give it an 8, a solid 8. It honestly tastes pretty Guinnessy, just with a little bit of kick and a little bit of coffee taste to it. So I'm into it. But on that, one last thing I did want to talk about, and then we'll wrap things up here because we're already at 1 hour and 20 minutes. One thing I did want to touch on was the 18 Birdies app, and something that we're going to be doing a little bit more of next summer, and that is the King Golf Network. And I've had a couple people reach out in the last couple of days about it. In 2023, it was the first year that we did it, and it's kind of like a membership. It's an annual membership that you can purchase. It's about $120. Part of that membership for 2023, the members got 3 free rounds of golf in Manitoba with a golf cart. So, you're getting value of between $250 to $300, and you're paying $120 for that for the membership. And there's a bunch of other things that come along with it. Within the group, it's kind of like a business golf network, and anybody who owns a business can kind of toss a deal out there to members each month. So there's lots going on with that. But with Drake and with 18 birdies, something that we're going to be doing more of in the coming years is we kind of want to get this growing in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Ontario, and really focus on growing the game in your local area. So kind of the idea is that you'll kind of set up a home base, whether it's in let's just use Regina, Saskatchewan. Let's say you're living there, you set up kind of like a golf account, you reach out to local golf courses in your area, and you kind of replicate what we've done here in Manitoba, what we're growing here. So promoting golf courses, they give some stuff in return, and people kind of buy memberships within that base. And so me and Drake are going to be focused on kind of helping those people who want to start a golf account. If you're interested in being like I hate the word content creator, but if you're interested in kind of growing the game within your local area, Drake and I are going to be, giving you a boost, giving you a little bit of tips, advice, and featuring you on our pages on the podcast, and really just helping you get your start. So if you're listening to this anywhere in Canada, the US, this is going to be a couple years process, but if you're interested, reach out to Golf Highway or King Golf, and we'd love to chat with you to see what we can do together. So that's that. And we're also going to be doing kind of like an interleague 18 birdies app for members. And we're going to be betting with a little thing called Satoshis, if you've heard of them before. So that's something that's going to be coming 2024. So aside from bragging rights, we're also going to be having a little bit of skin in the game, you would say.
Kashish.
So let's Boomer says that Regina's courses are awful. So never mind. If you're in Regina, forget I said anything.
Yeah, terrible
Saskatoon's pretty nice.
Saskatoon has some legit golf courses.
Yeah, we'll take her right up to Saskatoon.
So I guess with that, yeah, Saskatoon is there. They got the dunes there. If you ever have a chance to play the dunes in Saskatoon.
Do we talk about it every time we get on here? Maybe not on the podcast, but I think every time we're just in the background.
Yeah. We're an hour and a half in. We did not touch on Rombo. We did not touch on Tiger's return. We did not touch on the Domies that are in the semifinals right now. But we do want to wrap things up here because it's 10 o'clock. Shout out to everybody who has been tuning in the comments. It makes it much more enjoyable for us. One thing I do want to say before we wrap it up is to make sure to head over to Drake's Instagram, Golf Highway. Let's help him get to 1,000 followers. He's also got his giveaway coming on Friday. And check out his YouTube channel. You can see a nice little golf match at Oak Island and some older matches from Thompson and Shiloh, I believe.
Yeah, no matches there. Just those would just be like
just vlogs.
Me versus my mental strength and the course.
Love it. Okay, well, is there any final words, any ask of us or anybody listening, or any final thoughts that you'd like to share with everybody?
The only thing I got to get your guys' thoughts on,
okay,
is the big cat. Is he juicing?
No.
I would say no as well.
All right. I think he's a million
why would he
juice.
juice?
Yeah, that's if he's juicing, it's probably legal.
So he could play.
I would kind of my thoughts on this, because I understand what you're saying. Like, he did look pretty bulky for sure.
He looked fucking nuts. Like, we can't skirt around it. He looked fucking insane. He was leaking like he was full blown, like he just got out of the ocean every time he got on the camera. Like, it was nuts.
It's true.
But he
And
always is
everybody
like
else was
that.
perfectly fine.
No, Tiger always sweats like that.
It's a black thing.
Could
But
be.
it's not. Like, that's crazy. And dude's head just is massive. What happened there?
He does look massive.
Because I need that drug, whatever that head drug is, because I would love to fit some hats.
I'm with you there, drums.
But he looked nuts.
Kind of my thoughts on it is like, I don't think that he would go on steroids or something that would be illegal to jeopardize his legacy at this point. Like, I don't think he has a whole lot to prove.
But do you have any idea what's legal and not legal for the PGA
I don't.
Tour? Right.
I don't.
So who knows? Like, he's so rich he could have had something made in a lab type shit. But no, I think he's on something.
All right.
I think you're crazy to not think he's on something. To be gaining that type of mass at that age is fucking crazy.
All right, Steve's pissed, eh? Sorry, Steve. I mean, I didn't realize Colby was referring to a two-man tourney. I thought he was just saying any tourney, but yeah, our 63 was pretty unmatched. I mean, I think it was low round of the tourney, so
that was impressive.
Tied with another
63,
63, right? But that was day 63, and yeah, we cleaned up in the first flight, and we would have placed, I think, third or fourth in the champ flight, but we got pushed to the first flight on a kickback for good reason. Obviously, we were meant to be winners. So
I remember seeing you guys. You guys were coming down between 16 and 17, and you guys were on top of the world.
Oh yeah, we were high on golf for sure. It was a good day. We couldn't really
Those are fun days, hey, on the golf course.
Those are really fun days.
Especially when it's with a good buddy and you're drinking some beers and it's sunny outside. So anyways, let's wrap this up, boys. My back's sore, drum's back sore. Drake's still young, so I'm sure he's doing okay, but let's wrap this up. Drake, thanks for coming on tonight. I'm sure we'll have you on again if Reggie has any more staff parties in the future. Any last comments here?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, you guys are pretty nice to me. I didn't have any stumbles really, so it was a good pod. Really appreciate it. I hope it all did good for you. I hope everyone that all the newcomers in was a success. So,
amen. We had a good time. That's all that matters.
We had a great time. Like George said, thanks for finally coming on. We know this has kind of been adjacent for quite a while. We knew it was just a matter of time getting you in here. But welcome to the Kngdom world. You're in here. You're locked in. Probably the third mic if Reggie ever disappears on us again. So thanks again. Amazing trip. Amazing content creator. George's favorite word. So everybody make sure you check him out, as we said. But that's it for this week. We are out of here. Peace out, boys. Later. Love you.
Love you, fellas.
peace and love.